First off, open to the floor. Any questions, comments, or items for discussion? Going once, going twice, sold. My plan is our next EC's meeting, which obviously AECs and ARES members can attend, will be a Zoom meeting. I've not scheduled exactly the time yet. It'll probably be August or September. Our next in-person meeting, I plan to be at the Tampa Bay Ham Fest in Plant City, and I think that's the first weekend in December. We will have a 1 to 2 hour session there. Next year, we plan to do the second annual ARES conference. And if we can make everything work, I think it's going to be in Sarasota County. But we need to work through that. Now, I'll be sending an email out this week to the ECs looking for, we want 5 or 6 people to join our exercise planning committee. It should be somebody, we would like somebody that has had some ICS exposure, 100, 200, 700, 800, maybe been through an exercise or two, and submit those names. I'll submit those names to Chuck Johnston, and then Chuck and I, probably with Sanford's help, will go through. Now, 2 ARES nets every week. The ARES net on Monday night on the NI4CE analog system. Sanford is the net manager. He also is normally the net control. I want to have as many ARES members check in. I especially would like to start hearing from the ECs and our official emergency stations. On Saturday morning at 7:30, or after the Florida phone traffic net, whichever is later, we have the ARES 80 meter net. Bill Johnson is our net manager and normally the net control. If you have general privileges, please sign in there. It's at 0730 or after the Florida phone traffic net. It is on 3940 kilohertz. Of course, being also the section traffic manager, I encourage anyone with general privileges to be a guest on the Florida phone traffic net. We actually do still send radiograms. Most of them are from Lauren Pimentel in Massachusetts, but our NX9K, that's Chris in Nicosia, Wisconsin. All right. Other than that, if there's nothing else for the order, I would say we're adjourned. Bill, you have closing remarks.
Yeah, I have an announcement first and then some closing remarks, if I may.
Okay. Here you go.
We talked a lot today about exercises and planning and stuff, and it's something we need to do. And the biggest thing to remember is some people will say, well, if we fail a portion of an exercise, we fail, and that's not a good thing. Keep in mind, exercises are there to test your processes and your equipment. You really don't fail them, providing you go and what we call an after-action report, which turns into a punch list of things you need to go out and change. So as you go forward, please keep that in remember, because that makes a big difference on what we do. The other thing is, we talked a little bit earlier today about the NDMS exercise that Hillsborough participated. The FCC NDMS is the Federal Coordination Center, National Disaster Medical System. And what they basically do is they go into an area that's had a bad Mother Nature event, i.e. a hurricane or flooding or earthquakes and stuff, and the people that overwhelm the hospitals there, they shift them out to places like here in Tampa is one of the receiving sites, and we put them in the hospitals here. Well, this exercise is the first real full-up one they've had that they've really had good communications at, but they were not going to send anybody out to hospitals. So the cycle on these is a 3-year cycle. They have to do the full-up exercise every 3 years. So over the course of the next 12 months, we'll be working on the after-action reports, what worked, what didn't, so we can go in and fix it. A year later will be the tabletop, and a year later will be the next functional. One of the things that I'm going to try to do is there are 115 hospitals within 75 miles of Tampa International Airport. And even if I had enough volunteers to go cover all those hospitals, it's not really right for me to go into the other counties and plant operators. So my goal right now is to keep guiding them on the right way to do the communications and stuff. And when we get closer, involve the other counties where the hospitals are and where we're going to ship off patients. So we become an area exercise, not a single location exercise. So keep that in mind. If we do something like that, we will probably use the NI4CE system to say, hey, Joe, we're sending you 3 wheelchair patients or whatever, whatever the manifest is. So we can always get better. We can always long-range plan. That being said, do I have any questions on it before we go on and close? All right, I want to join Dave and Daryl in thanking everybody to come. It's been enjoyable having everybody here. As you get up and close out and get ready to leave, if you put your chair all the way down so it goes underneath the table and straighten out the vests that are on it, it will really help my team and I get this place ready to close up. One thing that we are very cautious of is we have a lot of privileges with Hillsborough County. There's a lot of the counties that couldn't hold this unless we had an employee there. And I've got 5 people that are allowed to come in and do this without government county employees here. And we do not want to lose those kinds of relationships and privileges. So if you could help us out, I'd really appreciate it. And again, thank everybody for coming. Oh, and by the way, the place they're building across the street is going to be our new OEM warehouse. And they're going to have, I think it's close to a 10-acre blacktop lot for the state to send down trailers to pre-stage stuff here. So it's going to be huge. They've raised the ground up almost 20 feet. So, all right, thank you all, and we will see you next year.